Picture the scene. A clear night sky suddenly split by the roar of B-2 bombers soaring toward their target. In mere moments, the ground shakes as bombs find their mark. What follows in Iran is what one could only describe as eerie silence, a landscape covered in dust and rubble. The world holds its breath, wondering about the true outcome of such a monumental strike.
Across the globe, the shockwaves of this event are felt. A sense of impending doom creeps into conversations around dinner tables from Washington to Tehran. While the president claims a sweeping victory with fervor, others turn to intelligence reports suggesting otherwise. How could there be such disparity? Officials assure us of success, yet some whisper doubts. It's a puzzle with missing pieces, and we're left to wonder which version of the story holds the truth.
To truly grasp the magnitude of these strikes, we need to understand the scale of operation involved here. The United States deployed its B-2 bombers for a specific reason. These are not just any planes. They are stealth aircraft, capable of flying deep into enemy territory without being detected. Then we've got the B-57 bombs, among the largest conventional bombs ever made. Their job was to dig into the earth and hit hard targets, like the Iranian nuclear facilities. It's a show of power that speaks volumes.
The strikes weren't just about showing force. They had very specific objectives. Key targets were Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, each playing a role in Iran's nuclear journey. At Fordo, the strategy was unique. The double-tap bombing approach was intended to make sure they reached the deeply buried targets. First, one bomb to create a pathway. Then, a second follows to hit the mark. It's like trying to thread a needle from a mile away. Talk about aiming for precision.
Indeed, precision was crucial for this military operation to succeed. You see, missing a target wasn't an option here. Bombardment could only do its job if it reached the right place. It's not just about brute force. It requires technical excellence and precise coordination. These strikes were meticulously planned and executed to ensure maximum impact on Iran's nuclear capabilities. The stakes are obviously high, because a minor miscalculation could mean the difference between mission accomplishment and complete failure.
This is where accurate intelligence played a critical role. Having the right information about the location and status of these facilities was essential. Making assumptions without reliable data would have been costly. The military needed to know precisely where to strike and how deep they needed to dig. This wasn't just a game of chance. It required up-to-date intelligence and cooperation among various agencies to ensure that every decision was based on facts. In such high-stakes scenarios, information is as valuable as the weapons themselves.
It's quite striking to see just how different the president's words were compared to what the intelligence community later reported. After the airstrikes, the president boldly declared that Iran's nuclear program had been destroyed. But then, the intelligence reports began to tell a different story, suggesting that the damage might not have been as severe as initially thought. This brings us to the leaked report that surfaced in the media. It added yet another layer to this complex situation, highlighting the gap between public statements and classified assessments.
Absolutely, and it's crucial to understand why these conflicting reports came about. On one hand, there's that immediacy with which political leaders want to reassure the public or even the world by appearing decisive. On the other hand, the intelligence community operates with more caution and time, focusing on evidence and thorough evaluations. This clash is not unusual, but it becomes very visible in high-stakes situations like this. When the reports conflict, questions arise about the process behind these announcements and their timing.
Indeed, the global media has been buzzing with this story. News outlets everywhere are piecing together bits of information from various sources. They're trying to figure out where the truth lies between the confident victory speeches and the cautious intelligence leaks. It's like a puzzle that doesn't yet have all the pieces, and everyone is eager to see the full picture. This media storm adds pressure on national intelligence agencies to clarify the situation sooner rather than later.
Certainly, and the national intelligence community is now in the spotlight, facing tough questions. People want to know why there's such a discrepancy between the president's comments and the leaked intelligence. Was the initial assessment flawed, or was the decision to announce the success made too early? While intelligence can take time to be precise, these developments are forcing everyone involved to act faster. It's a fascinating example of how intelligence and politics interact, especially when the stakes are so high.
Now that we've explored some of the early reactions and reports, it's crucial we turn our attention to the actual damage assessments at Fordo. You see, Fordo was a key site in Iran's nuclear ambitions, and those initial satellite images told quite a tale. They revealed multiple burrow holes, which shows that the double-tap strikes might have worked as planned. Yet, this isn't the whole story. Simply seeing holes doesn't confirm that the bombs did their complete job beneath the surface.
Indeed, while those visuals provide a surface-level narrative, there's more complexity underneath. The accuracy of the bomb impacts comes into question. American and Israeli forces seemed confident, but satellite images can't wholly capture if the bombs truly hit the deeply buried targets. It's this uncertainty that leaves room for doubt. Both nations have much at stake in demonstrating success, but without concrete evidence of total destruction, claims might be more hopeful than factual.
Evaluating the true extent of destruction at an underground facility like Fordo is a formidable task. With such deep fortifications, reaching a definitive conclusion takes more than just overhead images. You need extensive on-foot assessments, and those take time and patience. The underground impact is like an iceberg. Most of the crucial parts are hidden. Understanding if these strikes truly crippled operations needs careful probing and analysis that go far beyond the reach of satellites.
And as with any high-stakes operation, both parties involved, America and Iran, are keen to declare their own victories. Yet the shrouded nature of underground sites breeds a fog of uncertainty. Each side presents a narrative that best fits their political needs, but until more detailed assessments emerge, much remains speculative. The reality may sit somewhere in between, with both showing strengths and hiding weaknesses. This complex situation is far from black and white.
After discussing the challenges and assessing the damage at Fordo, we need to shift our focus to Iran's nuclear stockpiles. Before this clash happened, Iran reportedly had about 900 pounds of uranium enriched to 60% purity. That means they could potentially enhance it further to make nuclear weapons. But here's where it gets tricky. If the uranium wasn't affected by the strikes, Iran could still have a chance to advance its nuclear ambitions sooner than expected.
That's quite a concern indeed. There's also talk that Iran might have moved some of its nuclear material to undisclosed locations before the strikes, which adds another layer of complexity. With facilities possibly hiding critical equipment and advanced centrifuges, they might continue their work quietly. These secret sites could be a safety net for Iran, allowing them to maintain some progress even after such powerful airstrikes.
Exactly. And if this material is out there and ready to be enriched, the consequences could be significant. The international community might face the urgent challenge of dealing with Iran's nuclear capabilities sooner than anticipated. And with these materials possibly being hidden away, pinpointing and monitoring them becomes a real challenge. The last thing the world needs is to be caught off guard by these developments.
Absolutely, and this situation doesn't just put region-specific countries on alert. It stretches far beyond, involving major players globally who must respond diplomatically and strategically. It's a complex web that the world is wary of, especially when nuclear material and secret facilities are in the mix. The multinational implications of these actions are vast, as any imbalance could set off a ripple effect across continents.
It's fascinating how quickly leaders in the White House and other political figures moved to respond to the leaked intelligence report. It's like they felt the ground shift under them, and they had to act fast to hold their position. There were denials, explanations, and arguments that came flying out from all sides. You've got the president confidently asserting the success of the mission, stating that the nuclear facilities are no longer a threat. Then there's his team defending against the report, which suggested that perhaps things weren't as clear-cut as they wanted everyone to believe.
Yes, the political stakes here are incredibly high. Calling the leak treasonous, some in the administration are really pushing to discredit it. They're framing the situation almost like a battle of perception, not just over territory, but over the trust of their own citizens. With the media buzzing over these details, it's become a political game. Each side, from the president to those raising questions, knows how much is riding on these narratives. Both internally and internationally, how they handle these contradictions will shape future relations and policies.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, for example, strongly supports the mission's success. He's been clear in saying that the objectives were met perfectly, emphasizing the strength and precision of the airstrikes. His statements provide a solid front, insisting that intelligence and military efforts combined effectively during this operation. Hecht's positioning reinforces confidence in their actions, trying to assure the public and allies that everything proceeded as planned. But of course, these claims are juxtaposed with the cautious tones coming from those who analyze the intelligence data, reminding us that initial reports might not tell the whole story.
The military's view of obliteration seems quite different from the intelligence caution, doesn't it? On one hand, you have testimonies of success and accomplishment. On the other, analysts express hesitancy, questioning if the impact was as absolute as announced. It's a clash of viewpoints, really, a delicate balance of military pride and intelligence scrutiny. Both sides aim to protect their narratives, whether to maintain morale or ensure decisions are backed by solid facts. And all this plays out on a stage watched by the whole world, where any misstep could have lasting effects.
Given the ongoing conflict, one might wonder how this situation shapes international relations. The impact of these airstrikes doesn't just stop with Iran. It sends a ripple through diplomatic ties worldwide. Nations are now assessing their alliances and policies. Will this event influence future international agreements and how countries relate to each other? There's a new layer of complexity to consider as the repercussions of military actions unfold.
Absolutely. And with Iran now under such scrutiny, the issue of nuclear nonproliferation comes to the forefront. It's vital for the global community to reassess how we monitor and prevent the spread of nuclear weapons. Efforts to control nuclear material are crucial, and updating intelligence is more important than ever. Cooperation among nations can pave the way for more effective nonproliferation measures, but that requires trust and a unified approach to overseeing nuclear programs across borders.
Indeed, there's also a consideration of shifting towards diplomacy to prevent further escalation of conflict. With tensions running high, engaging in dialogue could be a way forward. Diplomatic discussions might ease regional strains and encourage constructive paths toward peace. So, while military strength has been shown, it is essential to consider peaceful means as a vital part of the strategy.
And in such a delicate situation, strategic patience becomes key. It's about carefully navigating the complexities without rushing decisions that could lead to further conflict. Resolving tensions will not happen overnight, and taking a measured approach helps prevent unintended consequences. By fostering patience and thoughtful diplomacy, world leaders can work towards a more stable and peaceful environment, one that steers clear of further military engagements and favors dialogue. Indeed, the potential consequences and looming uncertainties create a sense of unease and deep reflection. While we try to understand the implications, one thing remains evident. Staying informed is vital. As global citizens, we must engage ourselves with these issues and participate in discussions regarding our shared future. So, we invite you to like, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Your engagement not only keeps you updated, but also supports our mission to deliver crucial insights on global matters. Thank you for tuning in, and let's continue to learn together.